I will see this in multiple platforms. I've got it on Stream, I've got it on StreamYard. Trying to bring Dr. Anjan with me. It seems like he's on StreamYard, but he's muted. So we'll give him a couple minutes. Let me see. I'm live on Restream. I'm live on StreamYard. The LinkedIn still says pre-live for some weird reason. But we can change that. Please bear with me. Fears such as fear of performing in public or speaking in public. I think we've got it live on the LinkedIn now. It's finally working on there. All right. Hopefully, Dr. Anjan, you can join in and we can get our conversation started here. Can you hear me, Dr. Anjan? I hear some rustling in the background. Oh, that was myself I heard. Why I cannot hear Dr. Anjan. I'm not sure why I cannot hear him. Let me message him in the background. I've added him to the StreamYard stage, but it appears as if he's still muted. I don't know why. But we will carry on. As it leads to different stages of depression, and the anxiety is a fear in general, fear of public speaking, fear of performing in public, things like that. And the more you have experience where you push yourself out of your comfort zone, for me it was singing, public speaking. For others it might be a presentation at a job that they have to do. Whatever the case may be, the more experiences you push yourself outside that comfort zone and prove to yourself, oh, this presentation was successful, this performance was successful, and you keep having those positive experiences over time, you prove to yourself that I am good, I am worthy, I am good enough, and then you aren't as afraid. Over time, your fear diminishes, and your faith, belief in yourself, belief in God, belief that it is possible, increases. This builds your self-esteem. And when your self-esteem is built, you do not get depressed. However, some fears are stronger than others. And when the stronger fears hang around longer, they turn not only from fear, but turn into depression, means you are depressed or down, lower than where you want to be in life, and your heart and soul is conflicting with the real world scenario of your situation, and you're like, I am not happy with this situation, this circumstance, the way it is, that causes depression. When depression is untreated and is neglected, you live with that for a long period of time, that can turn into, heaven forbid, suicidal tendencies where you're like, I'm so unhappy where I don't want to be here anymore. What is the point of being here anymore? And that, my friends, is something I never wish on anyone at all. I would only wish that they get help from not only medical doctors, therapists, whatever, but communities like this where we can come and talk together. Get things off your chest. Don't bottle it up inside, please. That little song from Frozen about let it go, let it go. Yes, let it go. Literally, let everything out. Let it out. Because you will be emotionally more stable if you let it out. It might hurt in the process of, letting these emotions out and revealing which traumas and atrocities you were inflicted by, but you will be healthier for it as you move forward in life. And then that is the post depression stage where, okay, I'm not depressed in this moment, I'm recovering, but I have to be careful and guard myself that I don't slip back into this depression, because depression can be triggered by any number of life events. It could be a movie, a song, a book, something somebody says, something you see out on the street. Anything could bring it back. It'll, have a lapse, relapse is what I'm trying to say. But then after that, the aftermath, the recovery stage is that, okay, I'm not depressed now. What do I need to do? What tools and people and resources do I need to implement in my daily life and utilize to prevent me, or at least give me a less likely chance of slipping back into that depression? These tools could be audio rooms like we've done here on LinkedIn and various other platforms. They could be writing. Believe it or not, writing is so cathartic. You could write songs, poems, books, whatever, or even just write your feelings out on the paper and then shred it or burn it or whatever. You don't really have to, let's say if you write a letter to someone that abused you, case in point, my father. You don't really have to read that to the person it's addressed to. But the point that you're writing it and getting it off your chest, off your heart, off your mind, getting it out, then just shred it or burn it. They'll never know. But you will feel so much better because you released that negativity. That's what it's all about. So yeah, that's what the discussion is going to be about today. I'm hoping Dr. Anjan can indeed, join me here, and we will have a discussion followed by a Q&A session. Can you hear me, Dr. Anjan? I hear you in the background. I don't think you're muted anymore. I can hear you. Dr. Anjan, take it away, my friend. I don't think you're muted. Anjan, may you please join the more conversation? I can hear you, Doctor. Can you hear me? I hear you, my friend. Can you hear me at all? Hmm. Yes, I hear him. I hear Dr. Anjan. AK Banerjee, can you hear me? Who? This is your brother? Oh dear, I have the wrong one. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Oh gosh. Weird. This is such. 'Cause I have clicked to go live. I have, but why strange? Yeah, let me get him on the line here. I will take a brief pause, my friends. Thank you, AK Banerjee, for letting me know. I will take a brief pause. I will be right back, my friends. Thank you. Thank you. Take a brief pause here. hopefully can join us in a little while. If he does not, I shall just continue on his behalf. Basically, to tell you about, the mental health topics about depression and the different stages, which I've alluded to so far a little bit already. But beyond depression is finding that next level of the hierarchy of needs is that you find a place where you belong emotionally, spiritually, in every sense of the word. You find your tribe, as they say. And these are the people that you really jive with. The people that, regardless of life circumstances, they're going to be with you through thick and thin all the way. Welcome back, Akash. Thank you for being here for me. I told Dr. Anjan what's going on, and he said, we have his blessing to continue here. Um, so, with the depression, if it goes untreated for a long period of time, that's when it gets so serious that God forbid, it becomes suicidal. And Dr. Anjan and I, our mission is to avoid as many people as possible getting to that point of they're so low in life that they become suicidal. So over the coming months and hopefully years, we will be giving various talks, speeches, lectures, what have you, across the globe, various locations, as part of our new company. It's called Royal Academy of Excellence, Royal Academy of Excellence, because we will be primarily giving these lectures at universities, colleges, some of the most prestigious schools in the land. And those are our generations to come, our up and coming generations, their children's children. They're our future, basically. So we must lay the foundation and the groundwork now for them to have the skills and coping mechanisms and things to conquer the depression so it does not become suicide, God forbid. So that's what we'll have a series of talks like this. Some will be online, some will be in person, and they are all aimed at teaching the valuable life coping skills that we all need. Because a lot of people don't even, first off, know that they have depression or anxiety for that matter. Or if they know they have it, they don't exactly know that there's a way out of it. And when they don't know that there's a way out of it, is when the suicidal ideologies, tendencies come into play. That's a very sad point in life. I would wish it on no one at all. It's very low. I had it myself. So we will give them the coping mechanisms, therapy, breath work, prayer, um, motivational speeches, inspirational quotes, any positivity you can think of. We would be pouring that out to our students. We would be pouring that out to not only students, but society in general, anybody that needs it, in hopes that through that awareness and that education, people will begin to identify the signs of depression, the coping mechanisms or healing modalities for that depression, and be able to implement those in such a way that they do not stay depressed. You can be depressed to start with, but ease yourself out of it through the help of others. With, your congregation can come together, we can pray together, you can have therapy sessions one-on-one or even group therapies nowadays. They have some of them where it's how like some people, alcoholics, they have like AAA, anonymous meetings. You can have something like that, a group therapy session where everybody sits in a circle. They're in a chair and they sit in a circle, and each person comes up to tell their story. I'll admit, first time you do that, you're gonna be so nervous and shaking in your boots, but is essential for the healing process. You've got to get it out of your chest and tell the story of, okay, yes, this stuff happened to me and made me feel this way and depressed and sad and lonely, but I want to be better. That's the first step, acknowledging the problem they've been through, the trauma, and that they want to be better. So then you have 2 points in the life, where they were and where they want to be. So it's up to us as a community to come together and fill that gap so the two spaces become one. Then they're no longer depressed. Of course, they might have a relapse here and there, everybody does, but we would hope that those relapses are small and minor and minute compared to the big, looming, overwhelming depression they had when they started. Because if we can get it down to a manageable level, where they can at least catch their thoughts, as they say. Oh, I'm feeling this way today. Someone said something, or I saw something that triggered this. I can be aware of that emotion that was triggered. I realize that's how I'm feeling. Oh, this is not a rational, response to what has happened. Let me catch that thought and immediately flip it around. Okay, I'm feeling upset. Is the thing they said to me true? No. Okay, let it go. Just let it go. And then you will turn around and say, okay, the thing they said to me was not true, was not accurate. I'm going to take what they said and flip it. For example, someone could say, you don't sound good as a singer. You're not a good speaker, whatever. Take the don't or the not, the negative part, scratch it out. Put, I am a good speaker. I am a good singer. And then repeat that to yourself. Look in the mirror as you're saying it. Repeat it to yourself. These are called affirmations. They will help boost your confidence, boost your self esteem, and put that even mustard seed of faith in the beginning, just a small mustard seed of faith. Put that in your heart, put that in your mind, put that in your soul. And then the more you remind yourself of that over time, repetitively, you will truly start to believe it and live it. Look at me. I'm speaking to thousands of people right now. And sometimes I sing in front of thousands of people. It can be overcome, my friends. It can happen. You just have to want it for yourselves. If you don't want it for yourselves, none of the techniques, modalities, prayer, meditation, therapy, affirmations, journaling, none of the methods we all use are going to work if you don't first want it for yourself in your heart. You've got to want it. And then it's your job and our job collectively as humanity, as brothers and sisters. Once we've got one person like ourselves or a sister or a neighbor or whoever who has embraced those modalities, and you see, okay, they are starting to heal. They're not depressed. They're smiling now. They're happy now. That's what we want. That's what we want. So then that person hopefully can spread it to the next person, and it's the ripple effect, the domino effect. One person changes another person, changes another person, changes another person. And then together, oh, imagine the utopia society we will be in if nobody was sad anymore. Can you really imagine? If nobody was sad, everybody just smiles all the time. Wouldn't that be beautiful? I think so. And that's what we're after with this Royal Academy of Excellence is through one discussion, one lecture at a time to give students and humans in general the coping skills they need, the healing skills that they need, because you can cope with something but not heal yet. But we want ultimate healing. We want to completely revitalize everyone's soul, mind, heart, body, spirit, holistically for the whole selves they are. And then when we are all our whole selves, we can come together and be our whole humanity in our best form. And that is our hope, my friends. If anybody has any questions, I will open the floor now for some questions, a Q&A. We are only slated until 9 a.m. Eastern, which is about another half an hour. So if you guys can keep your questions quite brief and to the point, that would be great. But anybody is open to speak the questions they have at this time. Akash, what do you think, my friend? Can you hear me, Akash? I've seen you nodding. Hopefully you can hear me. Yes, I can hear you now, Akash. Go ahead, my friend. Oh, shucks, sorry, I get it wrong. Ashok, okay. There are various modalities. It could be daily affirmations, could be journaling to just simply write out the thoughts of whatever is bothering you. Those thoughts you can collect in a journal, and that helps me a lot personally, is looking back on the previous journal entries. Oh, I was feeling this way on this day. And what made me feel that way? You can begin to analyze it and put the points together and realize this is what the trigger was, whether it's a person, an event, whatever. This is what I felt after that event, and what is this feeling trying to tell me? For example, mine, I had nightmares or dreams, and sometimes those nightmares reveal certain events that could happen but don't happen if I'm alert of it. For example, just a small example, my mother, she had been driving the car. The night before, I had a bad dream, nightmare, whatever, that the brakes had failed on her car. I woke up the next morning and told her, Mom, be careful with the car. Some kind of mechanical thing may happen. Be careful. The brakes didn't really fail, but her tire blew out. But she was at least alert enough to tell, oh, be careful of this. So that's one of my gifts is like premonitions, whatever. But I wrote it down in my journal. That's how I kept it in the back of my mind. And then I looked back on it after mom told me, "Oh, I had a blowout with the tire with the car." Oh, that dream that I wrote in my journal was helping me to look back and analyze that, oh, it's maybe not the exact scenario of what happened in the dream, but it's similar enough that I could draw reason from it and prevent an atrocity, a catastrophic event for my mother. That's just one example. Other times it was like I felt sad about something and I wrote that in the journal, looked back on it later and be like, really true? No, why do I take it to heart? If it's not true, just let it go, ignore it, turn it around, be like, okay, whatever they said I can't do, yes, I can. And then I turned it from not only yes, I can, but how can I do it? Oh, I want to publicly speak or I want to sing or whatever. How do I do it? Okay, start small. Go on LinkedIn, have some audio rooms, speak in somebody else's audio room. That's what I did first. I was so nervous. Oh my God. Speak in their audio room, and then people will begin to hear your message. It's about the message. It's not about, oh, I spoke this perfectly. I spoke that perfectly. I didn't make any grammatical errors, etc., etc. Nobody really focuses so much on that as much as the message coming from your heart. And that's how all mine comes from the heart. Then people will, receive that and pick up on that. And then the next time you have a stronger message, some other theme, but a stronger message. And that builds your confidence over time that, okay, this experience went well, this one went well, this one went well, this one went well. And the thing you wrote down in your journal, that first negative thought that really attacked your confidence and made you think you couldn't do something has been scratched out and replaced with, yes, I can. Yes, I did. I still am doing this. That does wonders for your confidence, my friends. That's just one example. Another thing could be therapy, where it's like, what do they call? Cognitive therapy, where the therapist asks you questions, you give feedback about your life experience, and then they give you ways to talk yourself out of that negativity. And it's again, it goes back linked with affirmations of, yes, I can. Yes, I am worthy. Yes, I am good enough. I am my best self. These things to give you self confidence. And my therapist, she also gave me some meditation music. It could be anything like ocean waves. It could be what they call the sound of like these bowls. I forget what they're called, but it's a high frequency sound. Yes, this one, uh-huh, and, you can listen to those, and it's instantly calming effect, instantly, and then just keep listening to that, and the best time to do it is when you're gonna go to bed, go to sleep, because it calms you so much, you might just fall asleep. You might just fall asleep. That's another method. Group therapy, where they get you in a circle and everybody talks together and everyone hears each other's story and you'll realize that other people have similar situations and you're not alone like you thought. You're really not alone. Number one, we have God. Number two, our fellow human beings right here. Everybody has faced some adversity in their life. Some might be slightly different than others, but it's still adversity in general. And the fact that other people have gone through something similar, they can relate to you, you can relate to them. That human bonding experience over past traumas can do wonders when you guys are trying to heal because you heal with each other. Not like, oh, I'm just healing myself by myself. No, every time I speak, it gives a little glimmer of hope to those in my group. And then they give a glimmer of hope to those in, let's say, their neighborhood, their congregation, um, their country. And then beyond that, countries come together, and then continents, and then the world. It's like a grander scheme, humanity. So, yeah, there's various ways to cope. Prayer, believe it or not, prayer is a big one. Um, there's a lot about intention, yes, about if you set your mind to something, um, can mhm. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So, yes, when we come together, surely we can accomplish far more or deeper level of healing than if we were just trying to do it by ourselves, because really, honestly, none of us can do it by ourselves. Not efficiently. God needs to help us. Number 1, we need to do prayer for him to help us. That's half of the piece. The other half is all human effort, and human effort must be done on a global level. Because when we come together, I'm sure you can feel it. I get like little chills talking about it right now. I'm sure you can feel that energy shift when we're coming together as a group, as a collective, and you're like, your energy's high, this one's energy's high, everybody's energy's high, right? So high, right? And then it comes together and gets even higher and closer to our creator. And so when we have our creator doing half of the work, us doing the other half, and we're getting up high, we're getting close to him, we're getting closer and closer. And that is the recipe for ultimate happiness, the antidote for depression. That's what we're after. Yes. So yeah, that's what some of the work that we plan to do, God willing. Dr. Ann, John, and I, with this Royal Academy of Excellence, various plans in the works for different speeches, lecture halls, uh, business schools, universities, things of that nature, so that the generations coming up will be aware, their eyes will be open, their hearts and minds will be open and receptive to this healing movement. Really, it's a movement that is just starting up throughout the world. It's in the infancy stages right now, but I see the potential, and Dr. Anjan as well with me on that mission of, we see the potential of how far it can reach, God willing, if we're all willing to come together. It cannot be just one or two people. We must all come together and stay committed to this cause of this greater good for all of our humanity. And then maybe not our lifetimes, but our children's 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 lifetimes, they would see the reap the benefits of the foundations we are laying now. And by that, our life's work would have been complete. We cannot really ask for much more. That's all the reason we do it. Yeah. Thank you. So I don't know if anybody has any questions from our audience, any of our viewers or anything. I will give you a few minutes just in case there's any questions, and we will go from there. Of course, this is just our first event. We've got others planned, God willing, that dive deeper into certain topics. But this was just an overview, just an overview. me see on LinkedIn if we have any questions. Bear with me as I browse to see. Let's see. Trying to see if I see any comments, questions. Don't see any yet. Well, I do not see any questions so far. All right. I do not see any other questions. Unless you've got any questions for me, Mr. Banerjee. I think you are muted, my friend. Oh, there you go. Yes. Oh, sorry. Oh, my apologies. Of course. Yes, any part of what I do is also always coming from the heart that I do feel it. As they say, there's a term called empath. When you feel not only your own vibrations and feelings and emotions, but you can feel or sense those feelings and emotions of others. That is so strong. And when I tell you, I can just look at somebody and they don't even have to say a word. And I automatically know what they're feeling. Not always what they're thinking, but what they're feeling. It's so deep level. And I get a chill right now just thinking about it. That, yeah, I'm very intuitive of what are they feeling. And I can feel even if someone, like let's say my family member, I can see the expression on their face and I can feel it from their soul. Something isn't quite right with them today. Something is bothering them. They're trying to hide it, right? Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. No, you're not fine. Be truthful with me. What's bothering you? Lo and behold, they're having some kind of bad day or they're upset about something and they just didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to admit it. But I know when something is not right with them. They cannot lie to me. I know. And this intuition, this sense, if you call it that, really helps me to tap into what people need because when I know what they're feeling, it helps me identify okay, if they're feeling this way, they might benefit from XYZ different healing method or whatever. And then that could help them. It's all up to them. They have the choice, they have the free will to decide do they want to heal or do they want to stay in that negative emotion, whatever it is sadness, anger, whatever. Some people are receptive and open and do want to heal. They'll be like, okay, yes, show me, please, because I don't know how. Show me. Okay, I'll show you. I'll work with you. And together we will be a team. We will partner up and get you through this, God willing, so you'll be healthier, you know? But then there's others that they just are resistant, I would say. They just aren't ready yet and that doesn't mean that they'll never be ready. It's just that that point in their life, their particular path, their spirit is not open to it, and that's okay. We have to respect each other one another enough to not force it. If they're not ready, pray for them. That's all we can do at that point is pray for them that God will eventually turn their heart around and open them up to be receptive to healing for their better self. And then once they're their better self, going back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, hopefully in turn they can help others be their better selves and it's a ripple effect. So the work is not in vain. It is all for the betterment of humanity. It's certainly not in vain. It's just a matter of when some people are ready and when others will get ready, if that makes sense. You're doing quite well. I've conversed with you properly thus far, no issues. You're welcome. So what is your favorite, German expression? Oh, okay. No, never. Maybe one day, God willing. Thank you. Mhm. And the nature, natural living is peaceful. I've noticed that. I haven't been there, but I always want to travel the world. Not only Germany, but all of Europe and Africa, Asia, like all the continents. But I will need more time than I think to explore all these beautiful destinations. You know, I always say I need more than just a week. I cannot just see the world in 1 week. That's not enough time to see everything. Surely not. But there is a travel bug inside me waiting to get out. God willing, in the right timing, and the right friends, the right place, and I see that it would be a lovely experience. You know, enriching culture, enriching my life for new things. Every culture has different things, and it's beautiful actually when we just take the time to open ourselves and learn new things, meet new people, and these are things you never would have known you might learn, a new skill or something. Or the people, they could touch your heart in ways you never dreamed possible, but they do touch your heart. Anybody with feeling can, feel that compassion from another human being, and it goes a long way. So, yeah, yeah, feelers. We are all feelers. Some people more in tune to the feelings than others, and that's okay. But there's no doubt that there's emotions flowing through us. There's heart, mind, body, soul, all of that collectively makes up a human being. And each one is a little different. We're not carbon copies of each other, that's for sure. But we must respect each other the way we are and try to bring out the best in each other. And that is, you know, exactly the same source. We're all one in the end, created equally. So yeah, I'm very excited for the future to come. The plans that we've got, God willing, for this Royal Academy of Excellence is something that would reach the masses of people. And think of it this way: if by these talks, lectures, speeches, what have you, lessons, if by that we were to save at least one life, at least one, hopefully, God willing, many more, how would that one life be impacted in such a way that they would go on to save another life, and that life would save another life, and that life would save another life? Indirectly, it's kind of like as if we saved all humanity, and that's a beautiful thing to be able to be contributing factor to that positive change. There's so much negative in the world. we're the antidote to that. We're being positive and flipping the script, turning things around. You know, I believe it was Mahatma Gandhi who was famous for the quote, "Be the change you want to see in the world." Yeah. And if each person actually really embraces that mentality of, I need to start this change, and then we need to continue the change together as a whole, as a humanity, it truly could change the world. We just need more people on board with this, God willing, and this dream utopia society will one day be a reality. I believe it will work. I know it will work. There's a strong faith there. It is, yes. And that's why we're doing these talks to bring awareness, to educate people, because a lot of people don't even know. Even to this day, 2024, in this modern era, a lot of people still do not know. We must educate them so they will be aware. And then they will tell their friends, tell their family, tell everybody they know. Oh, by the way, look, these are the signs of depression. Did you know? These are the signs of anxiety. And there's many other mental health issues, but those are the most common is anxiety and depression, suicide, these things. That they see the signs, they notice them, and then they catch themselves so that those do not get worse. And they be like, you know what? I know I'm feeling this way. I need some therapy. I need some counseling. I need some coping techniques, and then those practices, if they really truly refreshed itself. Can you still hear me? What happened? Okay, I think I'm there. My system just refreshed itself. I don't know why. Can you hear me? Yes. I'm thinking at least once a week for now. At least once a week for now, and then perhaps we could expand, beyond that once we're fully, firmly established, God willing. But for now, at least once a week. Mhm. Yes. So we're about to be wrapping up here. We've got about 9 minutes left. Do you have any further questions for us today, Mr. Banerjee? Thank you for participating. It's been a lovely chat with you. Perhaps next time we can get Dr. Andron himself on the same chat and elaborate further on deeper topics, hopefully, God willing. But thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure meeting you and having such an enlightening discussion with you. And I hope that you're welcome. Over there in Germany, you continue to have peaceful, relaxed, easy living, and we will see you again soon, I'm sure. Thank you. I am honored. Peace and blessings, my new friend. I'll be saying a good day to you all now. You're welcome. God bless.